Hello, and welcome to Marriage in Real Life with your hosts, Eric and Pasty Richards, a podcast about two imperfect people with an imperfect marriage. This podcast aims to help listeners know that God, who is perfect, can use your imperfections and your imperfect marriage to help others. So let's laugh and learn. I hope you enjoy the episode, and let's get straight into it.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We're excited about our topic today, and we are so excited that you decided to join us. So thank you so much, and welcome back.
Yes, I'm so glad to be with Marriage in Real Life.
Marriage in Real Life.
Yes. So, what's happened since our last podcast, babe?
Oh, my goodness. What hasn't happened?
Well, Juicy honor roll. Juicy made honor roll.
Juicy made the honor roll.
We give it up. We give it up for Juicy. Yeah, give it up for Juicy.
Juice.
All right, Juicy made honor roll.
I told you she was a genius.
Yeah, you did say that.
I told you she was a genius.
You said she was a genius.
We celebrated my grandmother's birthday. We had a family celebration. It was awesome.
Right.
We got to dance the night away, so that was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Tampa.
Yeah, you went to Tampa.
I went to see Mommy's little man, and my favorite daughter in love, and of course my muffin. Oh my gosh, she's another genius. We have geniuses in the family.
We got geniuses in the family.
She's already cooing and trying to tell us what's going on, trying to sit up.
Wow.
At 3 weeks and already trying to roll over. Tomorrow she'll be 1 month.
It'll be 1 month already?
It'll be 1 month tomorrow, 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. So she's moving on up.
Yeah, she's moving on up. She is
getting out of the way. She ready to face this world.
She is.
I'm telling you. So that's been what's been going on.
That's been good. I mean, yesterday at church we had Family and Friends Day.
Yes.
We had a lot of family here, and yesterday we celebrated 5 souls added to the kingdom.
Yes. Praise God.
5 souls added to the kingdom, and so we thank God because that's what it's all about.
Amen.
And so we on this series of 3 circles where we're going to talk about how to share the gospel. And I believe that's what we should always be doing, sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. Well, let's get started in our topic for tonight. I'm very excited about our topic tonight. We see 5 people, watching with us. Hey, come on, tell us where you're watching from. Please put your name and tell us where you are watching from so we can give you a shout out during the topic for tonight. But the topic for tonight is cool. We're talking about marriage chore wars.
I can't believe he chose this topic.
Yeah. Was it me or you chose the topic? Hey.
I don't believe you. I can't believe you agreed
to it. All right. Marriage chore wars. All right. And so we know that and we got this from Dr. Les and Leslie Parrott, our Symbis creator. And we know we are Symbis certified, and we're going to talk about Symbis, what it is. It's a pre-marriage thing, but we're going to talk about that as save your marriage before it starts. And it's a very good assessment that we use for that. And so chores in a marriage tends to be frequent and a hot source of argument. You believe that?
I definitely believe it.
Yeah, hey, who gonna wash the clothes? Who gonna wash the dishes? Do you put the dishes in the dishwasher? No. We wash dishes around here, And we just talking about with couples. When you have children, it can come a little bit easier. But after the children, grown, hey, boy.
You can pass the responsibility. Remember we used to put up like a schedule for the kids?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Right there on the, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, Saturday. Hey, Saturday was the big chore day. Yeah, Saturday was a big chore day. Hey, look who's joining us, Miss Thompson. Hey, that's your friend right there.
Yes. Hey, Millie.
Hey, Millie, how you doing? Hey, thank you for joining us. But yeah, because chores are there. Chores never go away.
Right, it's kind of what make the circle of the home life go around. Somebody has to take the responsibility, and it shouldn't be all on one person.
Right, it shouldn't be all in. I was listening to something today, and they were, matter of fact, it was doing my devotion, and they was talking about chores, and I was like, whoa, we talking about chores tonight. And they were saying that if you don't do chores, they was talking about with chores versus our spiritual life. If you don't do chores day after day or time after time, if you don't clean, right, it's going to get dirty. If you don't wash the dishes, there's going to be a bunch of dishes in the sink. If you don't dust, you're going to have dust everywhere. You're going to have all of these type of things. And so somebody got to do the chores. And they were referencing to that it's the same with our spiritual life. If we don't take care of our spiritual life, it would get messy, it would get dirty until it's almost like catching hell to get back to it. But somebody has to do the chores.
Yep.
And you have to agree, because what has happened is, I believe this, and I firmly believe, society and culture has said that a woman is supposed to do this and a man is supposed to do that.
Yep.
And so if you go into the marriage with that expectation, right, with that expectation, or what the culture has said, or what your mama used to do, or whatever, and you go in there and after 1 week, and who cooking? Well, don't you supposed to cook? And no, don't the woman supposed to cook? Hey, what would you say if I said that? If we, like with the kids and everything, if I'd have came home from the Marines and I say, hey, where the food at? And what would you have done?
I'd have said it's in the kitchen, in the refrigerator. It's in there.
Oh man.
But as a mom and a wife, I just really took on that role, and I made sure, that food was done, every day. And on Friday was family night, so the kids could choose, what they wanted to eat, or, whatever we were going to do for family night.
Right.
Saturday, they were on their own, but they always had that Sunday through Thursday meal,
right.
And not because I'm the woman, but because, you were working, so I wanted to make sure when you came home, you also had.
Well, I did cook sometime.
Okay.
You remember the pig feet?
Yeah, the kids didn't like that. these pig feet, the kids were looking in the pot like, what is that? And I said, it's something your dad made. They were like, we have to eat that? And I was like, yeah. They was
about to throw up
at the table. He was like,
yeah.
Poor Peaches.
Oh man, poor Peaches. I had Peaches standing there. Oh, you gonna eat this? You ain't leaving the table, But it was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. So yeah, couples, what they do, they enter marriage with unconscious expectations, and the culture and what their mama used to do or what their dad used to do. Sometimes we let some people try to use the Bible to do it, but they're not using the Bible in the correct way. And so with those expectations, it can lead to arguments.
Yeah.
It can lead to arguments, or it can lead to things not getting done.
Exactly.
And so we don't want that. No, we don't want that. And so as our lives growing more and more complicated, household responsibilities become more complicated as one. So as we add children, as we add careers, because I believe if a man is able to work by himself and take care of everything, then that's cool. But right now, man, it seems like you need two incomes to make ends meet, especially with this rent.
Yeah.
So with careers, so you have to make a conscious effort of who is supposed to do what. And sometimes you may come home, you may be tired from work, but if it's your day to do something, you got to do it. Am I right about it? You smiling like I never did that.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. If you on the list, you got to mark it off.
You got to mark it off.
I think,
I'm not to cut you off, but I think, how we did our kids, even as couples, before you even have kids, maybe you have to do that.
Maybe.
You see what I'm saying? Saying, look, this is the chore list. This is what you're supposed to do. Because you know what? Sometimes we as men, we have a tendency to forget what we're supposed to do on a certain day.
Wow.
Right?
And so Alzheimer's.
We get Alzheimer's at 19, 20, 21, 22. And so when we come home, we forget, and the first thing we want to do is turn on ESPN. Right? And so we forget about that we're supposed to do this today and we're supposed to do that day, we're supposed to do that. And so a list maybe, can remind us. That's what I love about the Symbis thing, is that it has a section and it talks about chores. So before you even get married, you can have when you're pre-marriage counseling, you can talk about chores. All right, so we got 3 tips.
Okay.
We're going to try to help people tonight.
We're going to try and help y'all.
Okay, we're going to try to help y'all tonight. We're going to try to help y'all. We see Ferg all the way from North Carolina, Jacksonville.
Hey, Ferg.
All right. Talking about he in the real Jacksonville, North Carolina. All right. Sister Cynthia, she's on there. And we thank God. So, all right. So, Cynthia, all right. And, she invited those people yesterday, brothers and sisters. Yeah, so we thank God for her. All right. So, all right. The first tip that we can offer somebody is that you have to communicate.
Communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
And I think throughout this whole podcast, it's going to always refer back to communication. Because if you don't, again, I think I said in the first broadcast, God gave us a lot of skills and talents, but one he did not give us was reading each other's mind.
Right.
So if you don't open up your mouth and you don't say something to your significant other, they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They're going about their business thinking everything is okay, and in the meantime, you boiling inside.
Right.
So you have to let them know.
Right. Yeah, communication can seem obvious, but a lot of times couples overlook communication. Like you said, it's very, 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 very important.
It's key.
It's a key. A lot of people want to communicate to God, but they don't want to communicate to their spouse.
That's deep right there.
Yeah, they want to spend hours and hours of praying, and listening and, praying to God, but they can't spend hours. They can't spend 10 minutes talking to their spouses, but they can spend 2 hours praying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is
right?
crazy.
So God wants us to communicate up, like the cross. Like I said last time, it's the cross. He wants us to communicate up, but he also wants to communicate with each other. Absolutely. And so it's there, but it can be overlooked. And you said it. You cannot expect to read each other's mind.
Absolutely not.
You can't expect.
Not only that, you don't want to imagine. I remember watching this movie. I think it's Taraji. I can't remember her last name.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this movie called Think Like a Man, where she can hear what they were thinking. And she was like, oh, my God, I don't want to hear this.
Yeah, Taraji,
so can you imagine if you could actually read each other's minds?
Oh, Lord.
You think we have a high divorce rate.
Lord Jesus. Yes, you, God.
Can you imagine?
Yes.
So you really don't even want that.
Yeah, you don't want, nah.
No, I don't.
So sometimes you might have to, the first thing is communicate, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes you might have to sit down when chores, are irritating everyone, and you sit down and you talk about it. Who does what, what I don't like about it, and all of this kind of thing. What do you need to do, to help me out? And you just have to sit down because, and the very important part of that is that you want to sit down when it's not irritating to everyone. Because you don't want to sit down when you're mad.
Yeah. You don't want to sit down when you're upset.
Nah, when it comes down to chores, because nothing will never get done. So you want to sit down when it's on a Saturday morning or whatever, and you say, okay, here's the list, or let's talk about these chores, what we need to do as a couple. So however you need to do it. If you need to do a list, if you need to do a calendar on your phone or whatever works for you, that's what it needs to be done. Mm-hmm. Am I right about it?
Yes, you're right.
All right, so give me an example when it comes down to communication. When you communicate it to me, can you have an example?
It wasn't in the best of terms.
No, it wasn't. But you wasn't mad. I
was frustrated.
You were frustrated, but you wasn't angry. You were frustrated, but you wasn't angry. And in your frustration, you got it across, and I understood. So it wasn't an argument, right? Because with our arguments, I'll shut down sometimes. But it wasn't an argument, So give me,
Let's see. When the girls were little, And, we get ready for church on Sunday morning. So on Sunday mornings, I was getting up and cooking breakfast, combing hair, looking for tights and socks, trying to get my hair done, trying to get me dressed. And he would be completely dressed, y'all. Completely dressed, tie, everything, sitting on the couch patting his watch like this. We got to go. We got to go. So finally, I just got so fed up. And I said, well, we could get out the door if you get up and help.
Mm-hmm.
Like, help me with these girls. Do something. I know he couldn't comb their hair at the time because he did learn that later.
Oh, boy.
And so I know he couldn't help with the hair, but help somebody put on their tights. Help somebody, put on their shoes. Get them, the clothes are all laid out. Watch them get dressed. Help them get dressed. Do something. Help a sister out.
Okay.
And I was so frustrated. I was like, you know what? To the point I was like, you know what? I won't go. We'll stay home.
Right.
But that was not our family dynamic. Our family dynamic was for us to go to church and to be to church together.
Right.
So yeah, I
I
let him have it, y'all.
Yeah, you did.
But how'd you fix that though?
I fixed it by on a Sunday morning while you was cooking breakfast, I would go and help the girls get dressed, put on their tights. Help her. They were young, so I'm gonna put on their tights. Like you said, I didn't do no hair, but by helping them put on their tights and put it on their clothes. And, we working together. Mm-hmm. So by the time they would come down, while breakfast is done, they would come down and, we would put something around them, remember?
Yeah. Towels around.
Tying them around them. Or they would put on one of my shirts at the time because they were so little. And so they would put on my shirt and they would eat breakfast. And that's how it worked.
It was out the door.
And we were out the door on time and we would be at church on time. But that was a chore that I had to come to grips to help you out. But you had to say something because it took, and the bad part about it, y'all, I would sit there and watch, and like Pastor say, I would be there tapping my clock and say, look, we got to get out of here. We got to be at church. And sitting there watching. So that's what I'm saying is that sometimes cultures, because what I learned is that the woman is supposed to get the girls ready. You see what I'm saying? That the woman the wife is supposed to get the girls ready. That I, as a man, could not help get the girls. That was the position. I would help maybe with a boy, and we didn't have Jordan at the time because that was years later. But so that's what I'm saying. And so when you said that, it's like, I can help them put on tights. I can help them put on their shoes. I will, why they'll put on their dress before I walk into the, and I help them, help them with their face and help them brush their teeth and all this kind of stuff, the things that you were doing while you was cooking breakfast. So we can't let culture dictate what we're supposed to do. We got to get out of our comfort zone. And I'm glad that I helped, I'm glad that it helped because we was able to get on church on time. Yep. All right. So so the first tip is you got to communicate. You got to communicate. Try not to do it when you're frustrated, try not to do it when you're mad, when you're irritated, but you got to sit down sometimes and communicate and say, look, I need some help doing dishes. I need some help doing this. Whatever it is, I need some help. And men, I'm going to be honest, we can't say, well, that's what your job is, or that's what you're supposed to do, or I'm tired and I can't help, or this and everything like that, especially if your wife is working and you're working. If both of y'all got a job, then when y'all get home, you gotta, sometimes you might have to cook, and that's the way it is. And even, we had this kind of discussion, remember? Even if your wife is at home taking care of the children, right? Mm-hmm. We had this discussion. We didn't agree, to a little bit, but I do believe if the man comes home and the wife is doing all of this, doing with the kids, you got to come on and got to help. He has to help. What are you smiling for? They can't see, when we on the podcast, they can't see you smile. You know that, right?
What you mean they can't see me smile?
On the YouTube they can see you, but on the air they can't see you smile.
Well, I'm smiling because when we initially had this conversation, you totally disagreed with me. When I said, you was like, no, if she's home all day and she's, taking care of the kids and she don't have a job and I'm footing the bill, I shouldn't have to come home and do anything. And I said, whoa. she chasing around kids all day. She probably didn't even get a chance to brush her teeth because the laundry needs to be done. Dishes got to be put up. Something's got to be taken out for dinner. Being at home and being an at-home mom is more than a 9 to 5. So if you come in and you see her chasing little Johnny, ain't nothing wrong with you grabbing them towels out of the dryer and folding them towels. And you said, but you shouldn't have to do that. And I was like, oh, but yeah, because it's a shared responsibility. She's doing a job that she is not getting paid for, and she's doing it very well. So it does not bother if you go and thank you. If you go and take the dishes out of the dishwasher and put them on the shelf. So when she do finish dinner, she got clean dishes where she can go and grab them off the shelf instead of having to take them out of the dishwasher. Come on, baby.
But okay. All right. Let's think about this. All right. This is the point that I guess I was trying to make. I was saying if your job is to take care of the kids, right? That's your job. You're taking care of the kids. You're taking care of the household, right?
Yeah, wait a minute. That's not my job.
No.
That's our job.
That's what we said. We said we came up with it. Says, okay, I'm going to work. I'm going to make the financial money. We agree that you're going to take care of the household as far as the kids and the house, right? If that's what we agreed upon. And if I come home, right? And why do I have to help with your job when nobody's helping me with my job? Are you helping me with my job?
These are your children that you deposited.
Oh, Jesus.
This is your seed. And this is a shared responsibility. No, I'm not coming to your job to help you out.
Why not?
They didn't hire you for you to help for people to help you out. They hired you for you to do a job. So go do your job, make your money, and come home. Your day don't end right there. Because even if I'm working full time and I'm coming home, this is shared responsibility. We still got to raise these kids. We still got to make sure the household is taken care of. And when I get hired on my job, they didn't hire me to go get help from the lady across the cubicle for me. So that's all I'm saying.
All right.
Hey,
y'all need to chime in on that. Y'all need to chime in on that.
Come on, ladies.
All right. Hey, do I have any fellas out there? Any fellas? Come on, Ferg. I hear you, Ferg.
Watch yourself, Ferg.
All right. Yeah. I get you though. I get you. I understand. I get it. Because this is the deal. When I am going to work, right? When I said, who's helping me, right? You are helping me. You are helping me. You are helping me by doing something that I can't do because I'm out doing something else, right? So when the Bible says that, a woman is a helpmeet, a lot of times men, they don't look at the total part of how they help. You see what I'm saying? And so you may help in encouraging me that, hey, babe, I got the kids at home. Don't worry about the house. I got them at home. You go out, you make the good financial decisions. You do what you got to do. You don't have to stress about little Johnny doing this or doing that.
Right.
So in essence, you are helping me. You are my helpmeet. You are my helpmeet. All right, baby. Yeah, that's a good bump right there. You are my helpmeet. Hey, can I get a clap for that, Carolina? Because she is my helpmeet. She is my helpmeet. All right. So number one, we got to communicate.
Okay.
Number one, we got to communicate. Number two, we got to focus on who is good and willing.
Okay.
Focus on who is good and willing, because sometimes you are better at a chore than I am.
Okay.
Right? Sometimes I'm better at a chore than you are. And you have to say, okay, with this chore, I am better than that. I'm better than you. So I'm going to do this chore and you better than me. Now, the thing about it is you can't be better than me in everything.
Oh, no.
You see what I'm saying? Hey, come on. So that's why the good, but willing. So I have to be willing to take. Even though you may be better than me in something, I got to be willing to take that from you because I can't put all the chores on you.
Okay, I get it.
You get that?
Yep.
Right. And so, what are some things? What are some things that in our relationship that that in good and willing that you don't like to do, and in the chores that I do.
I don't like grocery shopping
Oh, Jesus.
at all. No way. When I go to the grocery store, I get anxiety because I have to look up at the things and see where everything is. He says it's because I don't go enough. But every time I go in, I find something. They change it to another aisle by the next time I get there. So I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this. I can't do Walmart. I can't do Publix. I just cannot do the grocery store. So I remember the first time I went grocery shopping, we first got married. I bought like $182 worth of groceries. No meat.
No meat.
No meat. Potato chips, candies, cookies. No meat.
No meat. No meat.
We came home. He was like, how much you spend? I said, $182. I was so proud of myself. He was like, where's the meat? I was like, oh, yeah. We do need meat.
Mm-hmm.
So very early on, we decided that I do not go to the grocery store. I'll cook it. Bring it home. I'll cook it, but I cannot go to the grocery store.
You know, one time, I remember this. I believe one time you were in the grocery store. You were on the phone with Ismatha. I believe you told me about it. You was on the phone with Ismatha, and Ismatha almost had to calm you down because you was just so, like, you didn't know where to go at.
That wasn't Ismatha.
Was it Ismatha?
That was Sister Cynthia.
Oh, Sister Cynthia. Oh, Jesus.
I said, Sister Cynthia, where's the Velveeta? Why is it not with all the cheeses? She was like, you need to calm down. I think it should be on the shelf. I could not find that Velveeta.
Oh,
I'll
man.
never forget that.
Oh, wow.
But she talked to me through the store until I had finally found it, and then I started complaining, $5.
Yeah. I don't like, I really don't like going to the grocery store with you. I really don't, because, we'll go down, even when we was in the military, we go to the commissary, and I say, oh, you take this aisle, you take that aisle, and you grab up everything, on the list, and now you just, they tell you don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry anyway, because you'll grab everything. But, you just don't know where everything is, and I get frustrated, and we be in there 2 hours instead of being in there an hour. So thank God that I'm good and willing to go grocery store.
Yeah.
Right? So because I know where everything at, right, in the grocery store. And so with you, it was cleaning of the cars, right?
Yep.
Now that to some people, that would be a man's work, right?
Yeah.
But to you, you like cleaning the cars. And what was the reason why you like cleaning the cars?
Well, one of the reasons I like cleaning the cars is because you can burn so many calories doing it. Especially if you, like a total detail of the car, you can burn plenty of calories. So now, when I detail the car, I do both cars. I think I'm out there maybe about 3 hours because I'm doing everything, y'all. I'm telling you, I'm doing everything. I'm cleaning the rims. I'm getting in there with a little scrub brush. I'm doing the tires and everything, dusting and wiping down because I like a clean car. Unlike my counterpart here.
I like a clean car too.
Oh my goodness.
But that's why you clean them, because
I clean your car because just in case I want to drive it, I don't be driving around looking like a dusty car.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Hey, look what Ferg say. Look at some of this right here. Malika say, if you know me, I don't cook, and she, Jordan cooked, right? And she don't do dishes. That's what she said when it comes down to certain things like that. And Ferg says, Patsy, you and Donna are not allowed to shop. She wouldn't even use the coupons.
Me either. I can't keep up with them.
Yeah, man, you got the coupons, man. You got to be able to. Sometimes I used to have the box, and going to you do the coupons. I'm trying to find the best sale. I mean, you remember? I remember going to Save a Lot. I know people probably don't know what the Save a Lot is, but when you had to bag your own, take your own bags and all that stuff, man, I did it all. I just did the grocery shop. It was like a soothing time, and I could just walk the aisle. I could listen to music, that's what it was.
I think he was trying to get away from me.
No, man.
You needed your special moment at the grocery store. Okay.
All right. So number one was communicate, right? Number one, this is 3 tips. We're giving you 3 tips to help you alleviate these marriage chore wars, all right? So the first thing, you communicate. You sit down and say, look, this is what's happening. This is what we need to do. If you need to get a list, put it on the refrigerator, however you need to do it. And one of the very important things is that don't do it when you're mad. Don't do this list. Don't say, you need to do this, you need to do that. just sit down at a time where you're not irritated, you're not frustrated, and sit down and say, okay, these are the chores that we need to do, and let's divide them up, and then that leads up to be focused on who is good and willing. Sometimes you're good at something, and sometimes, you may be good at it, but I got to be willing to take the load off of you.
Thank you.
Right.
I appreciate that.
You got to be willing. Got to be willing to take the load, and you got to be willing to take the load off of me.
Of course.
That's right. So that's where man, marriage working together. That's what working together. All right. So this last tip is don't criticize. All right.
Yeah.
You got to communicate, focus on good and willing, but don't criticize.
Absolutely.
Don't criticize. And nitpicking almost always guarantees that an argument is coming up. Nitpicking.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's why, when you're good at willing, if you're good at something, you better do it, because if the other person does it and you start nitpicking, what the first thing that person going to say?
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Do it yourself and leave me alone.
Yeah, do it yourself. Leave me alone or do it yourself. And then what happened? Here comes an argument. Well, I do this and this and that. This and that. No. If that person is doing it, right? If they just like how we would show our kids, right? We would say, okay, go and do it. And sometimes, we may get mad at it and say, now you've been watching me for years doing this thing. I know you can do it. But when they get in and do it, sometimes they're nervous in doing it because we have expectations that they're going to meet up to how we do it, right? And so not all the time is our spouse is going to do it how we do it. Right? Am I right about it?
Yes, baby, you're right.
I mean, some people may, like when it comes like the dishwashing, some people, right, they may clean the dish and put it in. Some people rinse the dish off and put it in. Some people don't do nothing and just put it in the dishwasher. Hello?
Right.
But you know what? I remember in the Marine Corps they said, I don't care how you do the job, as long as the job get done.
Okay.
As long as it get done, it's get done. And then when somebody comes in, they can say, "Man, we got a clean house, or we got to clean this." You know what I mean? So let's go back to the grocery shopping.
Oh boy.
Right? And when I don't feel like grocery shopping, right? When I don't feel like it, or I'm sick or whatever, and you go and do your grocery shopping, you come home, I can't come up and say, well, why you ain't get this? And why you ain't get that? And why you ain't get that? I'm nitpicking now. I'm criticizing you. You helping me out. I'm the one that's feeling bad, right? And so even when it comes down to the cars, you know me, I go and pay and get it done. I ain't getting out there in that hot sun, But long as it gets done, right? So we can't criticize and we can't nitpick because if you nitpick, it guarantees. Who used to say? I guarantee. I don't think I'm going to say that, but I guarantee it's going to lead to an argument. It will. Because if you criticize and want things done perfectly, then chances are you will be stuck with the job. That is right. If you criticize and want things done perfectly, then chances are then you're going to be the one wind up doing it. And then sooner or later, you're going to be the one wind up doing all the chores.
Yeah. And you get that burnout, then you get angry. And now it's like, look at him sitting over there watching TV. I'm folding these towels again,
So so sometimes you have to show gratitude. Just show gratitude with, for your spouse and let them know you appreciate their help. No matter how imperfect the job is, you just say, you know what, I really appreciate your help because you're helping me. So give me an example of know what? I'm going to give you an example. Yes, sir. Y'all check this out.
Oh, boy.
So growing up, I had a way of folding the towels. My mom taught me how to fold towels. I folded my way, right? But when we did laundry, Pasty had a certain way of doing towels. And we would be in there folding towels, or I've sometimes I would do the laundry and I would fold the towel. She would come in and just go crazy and say, these towels are not folded right. And just yes, come on now, talk to me. These towels ain't folded right. These towels ain't folded right. Then I was, wait, why you criticizing me? I'm folding the towels. You're right. And then I would say, you know what? What did I say? Show me how you like the towels folded. Mm-hmm. Because you like the, and so it would lead, in frustration. Till I would say, what? Just do it yourself.
Yeah, so now he'll do the whole laundry, fold everything, but he'll leave the towels in the basket for me to fold, which I don't mind.
Right.
But I do appreciate the effort that you put in.
But I did learn.
I apologize if I criticize you. I really didn't mean to do that.
Thank you. I accept your apology. It's been 20, 30 years, but I accept your apology. It's about time. All right. So but that helped me to say, okay, said to myself, said, look, I need to learn how you like to fold the towels, and I try to do it, do it your way. I remember we was in Okinawa. I saw that head shake and said, nah. I remember in Okinawa, and this brother testified. We was at New Covenant, and I never forget this testimony. He was preaching, and he was talking about how when it came down to laundry, and his wife was complaining about the laundry, and he did laundry, and I guess it had to do with the whites, and he messed up their laundry. And she got, she got mad. You messed up the kids' laundry, and he said those famous words. Well, then you do it, So sometimes, when you criticize, things like that can happen, and it could be an argument.
Yeah.
It'll come to an argument, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so these 3 tips, I hope that you will learn from these 3 tips as we have learned from them. Mm-hmm. They've helped us grow, and I hope that they will help you grow. Number 1 is you got to communicate. Number 1, communication is the key. Like you said, that's the key of everything.
Yes. Key.
Number 2 is, if you're good and willing to do something, if you're good at something, then you do it. And if you're willing to help somebody, help them. And the last thing is don't criticize. Don't criticize, because it will eventually, nitpicking will eventually guaranteed lead to an argument. So we want to just say, tonight, don't let chores be the source of your arguments. Let something else be it. Don't let chores be the source of arguments. Don't let chores be there. So with these 3 tips, you can help alleviate all of these disagreements and stay accountable for what you are each responsible for, whatever is on the list.
Whatever's on the list.
All right, so we want to ask this question. Do you and just ask anybody, do you and your spouse fight over household duties, or did you and your spouse ever fight over household duties? You can call in. We have a couple of minutes. That we could do this. We could do the call in. We could call in at 754-222-2219 if you want to call in and discuss some of that with us tonight. Let me see if I can find this Uber conference here. You see it, baby? I want to find it.
I don't know what none of that look like.
Yeah, we want to find it. Oh, man, I can't find it.
That's one thing. I'm not technology.
Technology is not, technology is, not technology is not you, right?
Absolutely not.
Right.
I can't.
All right. So if anybody wants to call in, they can. They can call in to 754-222-2219 and just talk about, someone, maybe you had a disagreement about chores. Maybe you had some disagreement about chores. All right. And so Malika talking about she needs, who's that? That's Malika. That's our daughter-in-law. Talking about she needs to see these 2 different towel folding techniques. All right, cool. All right, so next time you come home, we're going to do that. We're going to give you a demonstration. But if you would like to call in at 754-222-2219, just call in and let's talk about a little bit about some, maybe some chore wars. Give us some funny stories about some chore wars that you and your spouse, or that you and somebody may have had a problem with some chores. Call in and give somebody else some advice. Give us some advice on how to handle it. We don't know it all, right?
No, we don't.
We don't. Come on, so.
Because I'm still working on this one.
Oh, geez.
Taking the dishes out of the dishwasher.
Ooh.
Oh, I love it when he puts them in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to do it. But please take them out. We can't live out of the dishwasher. I got to run there to get a coffee cup in the morning. I got to run there to get a fork in the afternoon. Come on, just take them out. And I think that was one of my concerns at the marriage retreat.
All right, we got somebody. We got Malika. Malika, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you loud and true. Well, hey, first of all, we got to say, how is Precious? How is Amai doing?
She is sleeping, but also watching, kind of. I don't know. Maybe she can hear you guys.
I think she can. Hey, girl, it's your Nana.
She's moisturized and minding her business.
Oh, jeez. All right, so talk to us about some chore wars with you and Jordan.
So I think it was when we first got married and we moved into our new home. We kind of like adulted really fast. So we bought our house, so we moved in. I was going out to work, and then Jordan was doing real estate, which he's still working too, but like he's more home-based than I was. I was driving 40 minutes to go to work and come back. And I think at this time, I was ready to fight Jordan. I think it was the only time I ever really argued with him really hard about anything, because we just moved into our house and we needed to unpack everything and clean the house down. Like when you first get into a new home, sure, other people before you might have cleaned it, but you want to clean it again,
right?
Because you don't know what other people were doing. And I reached the point where I was like, Jordan, I just need you to do one thing a day. Like, it doesn't even matter what it is. Like, open a box, pick up a thing, I don't know. And I would come home and he'd be sitting, watching TV all day. The one thing didn't get done. I almost lost it. But we have gotten better at it.
Okay, all right. And how did you get better at it? How did you get better at it?
I think we had one more meltdown in the middle of a Walmart, but I just was like really vulnerable, and he was like in a position to hear. I think it was also like we were being like really like short with each other inside the Walmart or something like that. And I was like, what is wrong? Like, what is going on? Like, we need to like reset. So we just agreed to reset, and we were like, all right, this is what I need. This is where I'm at. And here's where I'm at mentally. Like, what are you going through? Where are you at mentally? And we just like reassure each other. Like, we know that the other person is doing their best, and this is a tumultuous time, and trying to make sure that we have all these different things going on. We just got married. Our chores aren't delegated to any particular person yet. We have a new house, a new thing going on. It's a new year. I don't know. So I think after we did that and we had that talk, I saw more like participation from Jordan and stuff, taking care of the house, and I was able to like be a little bit more calm about like even when he wasn't able to do something. I'm like, I could understand where he was at, and he could understand where I was at, because we had discussed it.
Right,
so
you communicate. There it is.
That's right.
That's right. So you had to communicate. Can we get a clap for that? Can we get a clap for my daughter in love and my son? Yes.
And also, you guys look great.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Well,
that's all I had to say.
All right. Well, you kiss our grandbaby for us, and we can't wait to see her. All right.
All right.
Thank you for calling in.
No problem.
All right. Bye. All right. Is there anybody else that wants to? All right. I got my boy.
Oh,
my boy. Yes. My boy, Ferg is on the line. Ferg, can you hear us? Ferg?
I can hear you.
All right.
How you doing there, Pasty and Eric?
All right, we doing all right, Ferg, man. All right, come on.
One of my stories is actually really isn't a specific gender who does it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okinawa. We're in Okinawa, Japan. Y'all been there before.
Yes.
And we had this woman calls and say, I'm out of gas. So in her car, whose job is it to fill up the car when she knows she needs gas?
Well,
for some reason, I think she was allergic to putting gas in her car.
And we
so
were.
This particular time, after about the third time she run out of gas, I tried to take a nap after she called me. I'm like, okay, go sit there. And so eventually, and this is on the back. She was in the back rows of, coming from Pasty going back to Courtney.
Oh man.
I better go get my woman one of those guys like walking a bull or something.
Right.
So whose job is it to keep the cars fueled up? The person who's driving it.
No. Are you kidding me? The person who's driving it? Are you kidding me? It is Eric's responsibility to keep my tank on full. You never know where I might be out and about. Come on, ladies, now.
Come on, Ferg. Ferg. Who responsible to make sure? Talk to me. Help a brother out.
I tell you what. I tell you who learned, and it wasn't really communication that taught her a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't say anything else. I took my time to go get her, and she knew from then on, I ain't coming to get you. So,
I can't believe you did that to my friend. I can't believe if she would have called me, I would have came.
Right?
We would have came. But yeah, you
kept enabling her to do the wrong thing.
Oh,
I know she out of gas.
Her, yeah. Passing Erica.
I go out every night and watch her car, check her car.
Man. Hey, Ferg, I'm like that too, man. I believe that, whoever's driving the car, they should be responsible to make sure that the car got gas. Because
but
look,
what if I tell
if you tell me that, hey, babe, my car needs gas, can you put some gas in it, and I don't do it, then it falls on me. But if you drive in the car and you notice that is on E, and you keep driving and they keep driving.
But what if it's on E and it say you have like 45 miles? Because sometimes these new cars they'll tell you how much. They'll say how far you.
You hear that, Ferg?
How far you can
go.
The
good thing is, it wasn't the winter when you thought you had 45 miles. So, I am Florida won't get that cold, but in wintertime, in some places, you don't want to stop there that long.
That's right.
No, you don't.
That is right.
But
man.
I agree. I agree. And when I am low and I'm out, I'll put gas in it. And then he'd be like, you did what? And I'll be like, I gassed my car. And he was like, why did you do that? So you don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh,
one of the things too, Ferg, is that especially down in South Florida, man, you hear so many bad things of women when they're, so that's one of the reasons why I try to say, Pasty, just tell me when you need gas. You know how we are.
and that goes without saying, but the rare times when you know that you are almost out of gas,
you better go in there and get it.
You are in the vehicle. You are in the vehicle. That's unavoidable. You need to stop and get the gas.
That's right.
Come on, Ferg.
Other than that, I was blessed to be the type of guy who was willing to try to do every chore. So,
yeah,
she was blessed.
Every chore.
I mean, Ferg, Ferg.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, Ferg didn't have no problem with it. Yeah,
hey,
he would come home clean and do all.
Go to sleep. I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the kids. I'm cooking. At least take it out. That's the one issue though we had, and I wrote that already. If you didn't like cooking, at least take something out. Now everything's frozen. I'm a professional eater.
Hey, you know what? I just read. That's right. I'm not pumping my own gas unless I have to.
Okay. What somebody said?
Okay.
Oh, Izzy. That's what Izzy said.
Some of the times you have to, though.
All right.
Some of the times that you have to.
All right, Izzy. I hear you. I just thought I ain't pumping my gas. All right. I'm not pumping my gas. All right now. All right. Hey.
It's some things that we want to be vulnerable and we want to be girly with, and pumping gas is one of those things.
We want to allow you to feel that way.
Oh, Malika say I haven't put.
Allow you to feel that way.
Malika, our daughter-in-law, say I haven't put gas in my own car in years, but she says she also never run out. So.
Hey, but listen, I just figured out where my.
See, you hear that, for y'all hear that, ladies?
I weighed my gas thing, and I was like, "How do you get this thing open?"
She just figured that out.
And the guys,
stop saying that. People listening.
All right, man. Hey, man, we appreciate you watching. Appreciate you calling in, man. We love you, for.
I'm learning some things about y'all. I ain't know though. Y'all be good.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Love you. All right. Is there anybody else? Anybody else? All right. Well, we thank God for the calls. We thank God for the calls. We thank God for the comments. Man, y'all are really participating tonight. I believe tonight was a very fun and enjoyable topic. Marriage wars. It can get crazy.
It can make a break.
Yeah, you see Malika and Jordan, they had a meltdown right in the middle of Walmart. Boy, I'm telling you, these chores.
I wish I could have saw that.
Oh man, I wish I was a fly in the water to see that one too, man. But it can get crazy. Like you got frustrated with me in the beginning. Chores can get crazy, and we just got to be willing, I think, to help each other. And when we see somebody's not doing something that we agreed upon, right? Say, hey, what's going on? Maybe something happened at work, maybe something like that. Now, something can't happen at work every 5 days a week. I mean, something can happen at work 5 days a week, but you got to do your part.
Yeah.
We're in this thing together. We are, it's not 50-50, it's 100-100.
It is.
And if we're going to make this marriage work, little mediocre things, like we said, little mediocre things. When I say mediocre, I mean like chores. We shouldn't argue about chores. Let's just make this thing happen so we can have a clean house. So because it's us being pastors and stuff. We try to be separate, but you never know when somebody's gonna come by your house. You never know, and you always you always say, I want to have a clean house. So we got to make sure the chores are done.
Yeah, not sitting on the couch watching TV. To watch every show, every movie that came out. I'm like, Eric, what you been doing all day? Babe, I saw this really good show.
All right. Jordan say it's never an argument. She just yells at me. Jordan, just get used to it. Just say you learn how to say yes, dear. All right.
Don't tell him that.
Hey, all right. Hey, hey, I love my son and son. I love my daughter in love. And we want to thank you again for joining us tonight for this marriage and chore wars. We want you to also, we saw the comments. We also want you to go and in the chats. We want you to go and comment as well. If you think about a comment that you want to share after we're done, just go back and comment, and don't forget to share and like, right?
Yes,
share and like. That's where we can get it out. Because maybe a couple that's getting married, and this is a topic that they need to have. Maybe a couple that's going through something, and this is a topic that I think marriage chore wars is a time that every couple should go through.
Especially when you have children.
Yes.
And when you have children and both of you are working full time, it can get kind of chaotic in the house. You got homework. It's just so many different things. And in this day and time, like Eric said earlier, you definitely need those two incomes. So communication is going to be key, as to what get done in the household. Because just because you're from 9 to 5, when you get home, you're from 5 until 6 a.m. in the morning.
Right.
Until you get them all packed up and out the door or whatever. So, so communication, I definitely believe in communication.
You know what? It just hit me, and we getting ready to go. It just hit me. Another thing that it just hit me is time management. We often say that we don't have time to do this, we don't have the time to do that. But if we learn, even as a couple, to manage our time, we would get things done, right? A lot of times we sit home watching TV, watching Netflix, watching Hulu, watching all that stuff, when we could be getting our chores done and not procrastinating, waiting on Saturday when we got all of these things going on and all of these things. And now we frustrated, we going on, we don't go to church on Sunday because we got to do chores and all this kind of stuff. We need to learn how to manage our time. God has given us 24 hours. He has said in his infinite wisdom,
yes, he did,
that 24 hours in a day is enough for you to get 8 hours, a minimum of 8 hours of sleep, and to work and to take care and to do everything. He has said that. And we need to learn how to manage our time. Why are you smiling?
Oh, no, I just saw.
What it said?
It was a text. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have been looking at it.
No, that's what I want to say.
Whenever I see a text from this particular person, I have to check it out. That's my baby.
Oh, okay.
Oh, thank you, my love.
Yeah. So yeah, we need to learn how to manage our time. You know
what we didn't mention here, because we talked about couples, but we never brought up the single parent. the single dad who's raising his kids, or the single mom who's raising her kids, how she manages her time and how she get, her chores done, and what she can assign to her child that maybe she have a 10-year-old or 11-year-old, how they split.
Well, I think the reason why we ain't talked about the single, because we talking about marriage in real life.
Yeah, but we have, we may have someone that's single that may be looking to get married.
Maybe looking to get married. Well, you start doing it now.
Yeah.
Start dividing up the time and know what you're good at. And again, communicate with your child and say, hey, I need your help. I need your help. Let me teach you how to do dishes. Let me teach you how to wash clothes. Don't give her the whites. Don't give them the whites.
Throw in a red hand towel and everything is pink.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Just give them a little bit, and little by little, teach them how to do chores. And so, hey, I need your help because I cannot do it myself.
There we go.
Right?
Okay.
And again, don't nitpick, because again, a child, especially a child, they get frustrated. When you argue with them and say, I like it this way, I like it this way, they'll get frustrated and they'll start crying and they have a meltdown, and then they were your time. So again, I think that is, you communicate to them, put that list up there and say, look, mommy or daddy is doing this chore and you doing that chore, and we having a chore day. We turning up the music. We opening up the windows, and man, we just having chore day, chore time, and then do it that way. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just dropped in my spirit that you have some single parents out there and they may be watching, and I just want to let them know that you are not alone. We're not really leaving you out, although this is about couples,
right?
But still, when time management. That's
time management and communication is the thing.
That's a good one.
All right. So, man, we seeing those chats come in, and we thank God for all of the participants. Malika says she's Caribbean. She talks loud, Yeah, and hey, I know the Caribbean people. I'm Jamaican myself, And we do talk loud. That is a good point. So again, we thank you for watching with us this evening. It's been fun, babe. This was a good one.
Fun.
This was a good one. It was good. That's my baby. Come on. Can I get a clap for my baby? My baby's so beautiful. I just need a clap for her.
Stop that.
Oh man. Hey man, so I'm gonna clap it up. For you. All right. Well, thank you for watching tonight. And we want you to share and like. We want you to later on tonight. It will be on your favorite, however you listen to your podcast, whether it's Apple, Spotify. YouTube as now having an audio podcast where you can listen through the YouTube Music, nice. iTunes, Buzzsprout, however you listen to your favorite podcast. We want you to go on there and download and listen and leave a review. Well, good night, and we thank you, and we'll see you in 2 weeks for Marriage in Real Life.
Yay! Thank you.
If you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We hope you enjoyed this new episode. And if you did, please rate and review our show on your favorite podcast channel. Please share this episode with others who may be interested in this topic. Also, feel free to let us know what topics you'd like to see covered in future episodes. Get in touch in the comments or on any social media networks at Marriage in Real Life Podcast. See you next week for a new episode.